Started the chain reaction.
We had a system all worked out.
Because you're ready to go straight down the line.
Welcome to Japan.
So the translator is just behind the fighters, so if you need a translator, please ask a question in Japanese or English.
The trip here to Japan's, always been good. Every time I get here, I explore it a little bit more and get more comfortable here.
So second trip? Well, second time fighting.
Second time fighting here in a row, so definitely getting a little bit more where everything is at, from the Tokyo standpoint.
Are you cutting weight?
No.
So you're getting everything, food included.
Food, you still have to be very sparingly here because you don't want to get something that makes you very upset. So you still have to try to find your customization, like your food balance back how it is at home.
How are you thinking the fight's going to go? How do you think reception for the fans is going?
I think I'm going to have to talk to Ken to see how tickets or sales are doing. But as I walk down the street and fans know who I am versus the first time I was here, fans were just fans of mixed martial arts, and then now they're UFC fans. So I think expanding the MMA brand here in Japan is getting better. So hopefully we can make it like Pride and K1 Day.
Taking a lot of pictures on the street?
Always. There's a lot of fans here, so that always makes me happy.
Fighting Josh Barnett, let's get into the fight. How are you thinking this is going to play out?
It's pretty simple. Just have my hand raised at the end of the day. It's Josh comes to fight and I come to fight, and that always usually for heavyweights it usually means fireworks.
I assume you're planning on using the right hand?
I plan on using my right hand and probably my left too. No, I plan on using my right hand and probably my left, maybe my right foot.
A few other body parts.
Going for a knockout?
The fans always want to see a KO, so I always try to do the fans that they want to see.
KO を楽しみにしてるので、そうなるようにしたいと思います。
Short fight? Long drawn out fight?
My plan is always to get the fight done in the first round. If he walks out there and taps, great. If I knock him out, it's great in the first round. But I came here for 5 rounds, so if that's what it takes, that's what it takes.
So a tap is an option?
Yeah, if he just walks out and taps, I'll take that all day.
Thank you, sir.
Can you tell me a little bit about what your experience was like coaching the guys from Japan?
The one thing about coaching the guys here in Japan, different than the traditional Ultimate Fighter, you kind of get to know the guys a little bit more. You got to meet their families, so you got to see more of a background. Even though there was a language barrier, I actually got to know the guys a little bit better.
What was your favorite part or the most interesting part of the filming?
I think the interesting part was how it was filmed this time versus how the traditional Ultimate Fighter setting is. It was more about building characters. It was more about the fighters versus the fight, I guess, which in turn makes more fans. So I think this year they did it right.
And we know who were your favorites, but can you explain a little bit about who impressed you the most and why?
For myself, is always Wiki, Hirota. Those are the 2 guys. Ando, I really liked. He was my very first guy. I think it was just because he's kind of new to the sport. He's still a rookie, but there's some guys that I see a lot of promise that can still do really well in our sport, even that didn't win the road to Japan.
Did it really feel like a team versus team feel?
It was. You know what? It seemed more team version versus the Ultimate Fighter version of team versus team. there was more,
格闘家同士よりもチーム
I guess,
チームとチーム
realism,
という感じはしました。
more, you know, like they took it to whatever I had to say. They took it to heart more than because I think like Hirota's already been in the UFC, so when I talk about, you know, like this is how you got to fight. This is, you know, it is about winning. When it's a tournament, it's just about winning. It's not about how if it's pretty, it's not pretty. And a lot of other guys didn't understand that. They're like, no, I got to look this way. You really don't have to look away because it's still a game show. You know, so you still got to go out and win, but at the same time, you got these cameras and use the PR to let people know, like, hey, I will knock this guy's head off, but I'm not going to do it right now, because I mean, I got crap when I did the Ultimate Fighter because Dana, you know, oh, you're not knocking these guys out, and like, because I didn't have to. I mean, it's a game show. As soon as you get through the game show, you just do what you got to do on the last one, and I knocked my guy out in the last one.
And how do you see the final playing out?
I always, Rose is a veteran, so you know my bet's always on my guy, and he goes out there, he's been there. The thing is about him executing a game plan, because Yoshibo is very wild. So as long as he can tame that and kind of harness that in, I see him winning.
Thank you.